That's what I'm looking for. Where does the water come out? See, all the way up through here, there's a valley. Okay, when it rains, even though there's no water running up through here, it's going down underground, and there's an underground stream in these valleys that shed the water from these hilly areas. And eventually, you'll see an eruption here, and then a pool here. Remember, when you're looking for water, water runs downhill. That's where you need to go. It's downhill. And just keep going downhill. If there's water, you will find it, because that's where it's going to be. That's just a simple fact of being in the wild. If you need water, go downhill. Let's keep on looking. Now we got some water. Looks good too. You wouldn't believe what I'm hearing. It's drizzling rain. I did not bring any rain gear. According to the people who know, there's no chance of rain today. I don't know. Acts like it is. I hear drizzle. It might get worse. We'll see. Follow that stream down a little ways, or that runoff. Oh, there's the sunshine. Holy moly. And I found some more water. But I don't think it's what I'm looking for. This is the same runoff. You see that it's a dry creek bed. The water went underground. I'm kind of whispering because I don't want to scare the wildlife. If there's any out here. That is some nasty looking stuff. Heads off down through the woods. Deep ravines. I think I like that water I saw upstream. It looked pretty good. Yeah, there might be a downpour today. Okay. It's not cold. I don't think I'll die from getting wet. I do have a survival tarp type thing with me. I don't go anywhere without my survival tarp. I think I'm looking for a cup of coffee and some breakfast. Man, it was foggy this morning. It's unseasonably warm. I have to tell you, this is, I'm getting stuck in the weeds. This is right after Christmas, right before New Year's, and it's warm. I could be in t-shirts and a short right now probably, without too much trouble. It's just going to get warmer as the day goes on, so this long sleeve shirt will be coming off, I'm sure. And it's crazy because the weather patterns are just, I mean, it's, you know, winter. And there's daffodils blooming, not blooming, but growing at my house. They're 5-6 inches high already. Tomato plants are still growing. They have blooms on them. It's kind of crazy. I've never seen weather like this before. I mean, we used to have winters, you know, where we got snow and ice. And, you know, and then it got cold and stayed cold. You know, you kind of look forward to spring, and it just seems like it's spring all winter. So, yeah, let's keep going. Looks like something laid down right here. I wouldn't doubt it'd be a nice bed to lay down in, I think. Now that's part of the stream bed. You see that little outcropping of water right there? That's why I said you have to go to the lowest point if you want to find water. It disappears and reappears. If you don't see it, like it's not in a wooded area like this, try to dig down some, either with a digging stick or if you have a shovel, that's great. But dig down, make you a hole, let the water seep in. It's down there. Be mindful of things like this. See, that tree is just ready to do its thing. It's even released its bark. It's fallen down. Do you hear it? peace and quiet. Nothing but the wind and the trees. This is the green tarp I always carry with me. It's not real large. It is waterproof and it's insulated. This is head high, so I can basically stand under it if I had to. And you know, it gets lower over here, so the water will run off. Got my stool. Yeah, this is between Christmas and New Year's, and decided to give the spouse a break, maybe get out of the house a little bit. I haven't been out since maybe before Thanksgiving. Well, way back in October, actually. There was a lot of things to be done for Christmas, I suppose, and I did all my shopping online, so it wasn't like I was fighting the crowd. You know, we've had, you know, years of collecting things and having things and storing things, and I couldn't stand it anymore. So yeah, we got rid of some stuff. We donated a bunch of stuff. We got rid of some things. Just stuff, you know, years and years of clutter. The attic, each room. If you find yourself in that particular situation, get rid of it now. We're in the midst of trying to sell the family home, so to speak, and there's a lot of stuff in there. 90 years of living collects a lot of small stuff, and I don't want my kids to have to go through that. So we're just kind of weeding it out, getting rid of stuff, taking it out. Finding all kind of new things that we didn't know we had. One of the big deals was about 5 years ago. My mother was in a nursing home and not doing well, and to ensure she had proper care, I had to go there every day. It was within town, so every day when I got from work, I would just go by and feed her supper or whatever. They would bring, you know, food to the room because it's a nursing home. She happened to be bedridden the last 4 years of her life and mostly blind. And so the staff, they tried, but they were understaffed. They didn't have enough people to do the job. So to make sure she actually ate, I would just go by there first. And you know, you're coming in 7:30, 8 o'clock at night from running errands and doing things. There's not a lot of time to do chores around the house. And we were in the middle of a kind of a kitchen remodel that my wife and I were working on together. And that was 5 years ago, and it was like my mother was sick and in there, and then her mother, my wife's mother, my mother-in-law, got sick with colon cancer, and we saw that through. And there's a lot, you know, differences between, you know, people talking about, you know, changing a baby's diaper. If you ever changed an adult diaper, you know there's a huge difference in that. There's no dignity for anybody there, but we try. And then of course my mother passed away after that one, so that was, both our mothers were gone, and then my father-in-law passed away, and he was sick and ill. So time marched on, about 4 to 5 years of just doing stuff for people, you know. And I had put our remodel on hold. Well, this year I didn't finish it, but I put the main stuff in, you know. It's got some trim work left to go. But that took a big effort, and then just a lot of moving around getting ready for the Christmas season. And my daughter is expecting her first child in January, so that's kind of a big deal. And today, my day to get outside. I was actually going to do it yesterday, and the sun was shining, but it got up to almost 80 degrees here in upstate South Carolina in winter, last of December 2021. I date that because I think it's important that as time goes by, maybe if somebody's watching the video later on, years down the road, they'll understand, you know, where we are in life and what's going on with it. So that's why I put that date on there. And this is one of my favorite woods to come to
That's one of the few places that I actually have that I can go saunter around in and do some things in. Like I said, I live not in the city but in the suburbs, and I got 2 trees in my yard. One of them I planted, the other one the birds planted, and we just let them grow. A big oak and a pecan, and I'm thankful to have them because I grew up in the country. We cut firewood to heat the house. You know, we ran in the river bottoms, a bunch of little barefoot hooligans running around in the yard all the time. Not a stitch of grass. Nah, we didn't have to cut the grass. We wore it out. So, yeah, the whole group of us, cousins, everybody. Bicycle heaven, man, I'm telling you. What a great experience. And we didn't know it. In my last video, I talked about your fire ring and how to leave the land. And that's the intention right here, is to cut the roots, save the dirt, and when I get through here, I'll put all this back. You'll barely know I was here. It's not really working. I don't like doing this, but I don't think I have much choice. It's got some fat wood in it. It's cool. I don't need much of this. This is pine, but I really need some hickory. In one of my previous videos, I showed river cane in the summer and all its greenery. Well, now it's in winter and it's died back. That'll do. And I got a really windy day, so I don't want this to get big. I want it to go to flame just as quick as possible. Okay, so one of the problems with that is that if you look right down here, that's the way the wind is blowing, is that way, and that's where the sparks would fly. And that is really good tinder. Hickory, 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 hickory. The wind has really kicked up, and I'm feeling unsafe with a fire in the woods today. I mean, we're talking 15-20 mile-an-hour winds probably here, and sometimes it gusts way down here. I've already had the leaves take off and do stuff, and to get this up and going, you know, there's going to be that chance. And then of course again, I have this high flammability wood cane grass just right below me, and that's exactly the way it would blow. I don't think I would get that put out if it got started. So I'm not going to try that. You know, as always, you should be prepared for almost anything. I wanted to have a little small fire today and cook my lunch on that. But I think I'm going to have to go with a gas stove, because I do have the small compact gas stove that you saw in one of my videos, or several of my videos. One of them is called the new gas stove, and that one has just worked phenomenally well. I use a small cylinder with it. It's a low profile. I can actually use this hole that I've got the wood in, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to clean this out, actually. Take all my wood stock out like that. Yeah, I spent a reasonable amount of time getting firewood, fire starter, but this wind has just really kicked up, and right now it's kind of low, but we'll see, won't we? You know, it's better safe than sorry. I don't have to eat right now, but I haven't had breakfast, and it's, you know, it's midday, easy. I wouldn't mind a good cup of coffee, and we'll see how that goes. Now, some people might say that the wind is just something you're going to have to contend with, but you know, I've had fires like this, and the wind will just all of a sudden swoop down, and I'm kind of, you know, I'm down in the valley. That's where the water's at, so I'm right next to a stream. That's, you know, I like fresh water, so that's what I like to do. But I've got this funnel almost, I think, that's whipping the wind down through here. Now it's not cold, it's a little cool, but it's not cold. So I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to use my little gas heater. When I was a younger man, I participated in a rural volunteer fire department and went through the 40-hour training process and responded to fire calls, and you know, it was all pretty cool. I wanted to help out. I wanted to be a member of the community and be one of those helpful people. And then one day I followed the fire chief into a flaming house. I was, you know, on the hose behind him, and the roof basically caved in on us as we were trying to put it out, because we knew there was supposed to be somebody in there who had not gotten out. So we were, you know, doing a deep dive to get in to get them. Now, we did not have Scott packs or anything, whatever they call them now. I don't know. That's a long time ago, you gotta remember. And you know, when I came out, I realized that maybe my place wasn't at the fire hose itself. You know, maybe there was some other thing I could do in life rather than die in a fire, because maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I need my canister. Where's my canister? That's not it. Oh, I'll take that. I'll be right back to you. Alright, so a little different shot here. I put my shirt back on. There's a little chill in the air, wind's blowing, and you know, in a forest like this, there's just, you know, deadfall everywhere. I don't seem to be around anything except one way over there, but you never know what's upstairs. You know, there's dead limbs up there all over the place. So, you know, I'm just going to be aware of that, and because the wind is blowing so much, I'm going to go ahead and rehat myself. I got something in my pack. I got a special treat, I guess maybe right before Christmas or so. Maybe you've seen one of these. It's a frying pan. Oh, well, but it's a special frying pan. It's one of these cold handle is what they call it. It's a number 50. The inside looks pretty good to me. The outside, obviously it's old. I had to straighten it just a little bit here. My wife found this for me and presented it to me and said, "Here, you know, I found one of these old-timey pans that you've been talking about." And I'm going, "Hey, yeah, got the long handle, and it's got the insulated piece on it." Now, if you look and watch some of the old westerns like Gunsmoke or even Little House on the Prairie and stuff like that, you will see these pans hanging all over the walls. And you know, they're not like expensive. You can still find them on eBay and other places. But she found this one at a thrift store and dug through the pots and pans section and said, "Ah, there's a cold handle." You know, because I've been telling her to keep her eyes open for one of those. And it's L&G Manufacturing Company. So we're going to whoop up something to eat in the old frying pan today. Find a pot down in here somewhere. Let's see. That's not it. That's my cup. Oh, I still need it. So, all right. Woo woo. Now this is also the one that I did the percolator in. But today I'm just going to use it for a hot pot. So here we go. And since I'm not really doing any trail cooking per se, oddball I brought a Ziploc bag. See if you know what this is. See if you can see what it is. It's a goulash mess is what it is. But those are the leftovers from the Christmas dinner. We've been eating on them for days. You might recognize some ham, a bit of meatloaf, green beans, mac and cheese. Yeah, I think it's in there, and they're just kind of all in there together, you know. So I swear I don't intend to do a cooking video every time I go in the woods. It just seems like, you know, food is one of those things that we all find in common. It makes for an interesting day. I gotta tell you, this wind has got me a little bit nervous. I was gonna say unnerved, but you know, nervous that it could get rough. Now, you know, Weather Channel says one thing, I say something else. It's just wind. There's some blue sky, white clouds. I don't think the rain's coming. But who knows when a tree's gonna fall on you, right? Could happen. See that sunshine? Isn't that something? That was a tree limb falling. I hear water boiling. Sugar. I had someone online tell me that I needed to seriously cut back on my sugar consumption. And I thought, well, that was really nice of them, be concerned about my health. And then they told me I needed to add caraway to my sauerkraut. And I thought, huh, what world are you in? Where are you from? I'm the person from the Czech Republic, Czech Republic, how you ever said it? A Czech, I have trouble with those words. The Czech, no, Czech, Czech, isn't that the word? The Czech Republic. And I really appreciate him you know, talking, and if you have comments, please make them. I don't mind them all. I'll answer every one of them. You might not agree with me, that's okay. It's not necessarily, you know, the thing you have to do to get along. But I appreciated the person letting me know that they were living in an apartment with all electric, some gas heat, you know, with a boiler downstairs, or it seemed like that's what he was talking about. And was really worried about what Putin was going to do to invade the country and maybe mess with the energy, and then the electricity would go off and they wouldn't have any way to, you know, to live. Man, I've got it made, you know, compared to those kind of things. So I really want to know what's going on in people's lives, and in another country, that's like really cool. So I really appreciate it. I think his name's Alan. And Alan, if you're out there, man, thank you for commenting and getting back with me. A little bit of steam, seeing the wind is just carrying it away. There we go. Oh, uh-oh, I can taste those leftovers on my spoon. Do you think my coffee is going to taste like it? Maiden voyage of the Cold Handle 50. Let's have that sip of coffee. Ooh, that's hot. I know what that's missing. It's missing Mikey sauce. Go. Looks like goulash, doesn't it? Okay, so here's my pot, my pan, and yes, there's some heat along this bottom side, none over the top, and the longer handle makes it holdable. It's warm. Yeah, it's warm. Yeah, you see that look on my face? It's warm, but it's not, you know, it's not too hot to hold. They call it cold handle, but I disagree with that whole idea. Let's put this down for a minute, cut my burner off, and we'll get ready to dig into a bite of this Christmas leftovers. I wanted to say something about that because there's so many people who have needs who don't have this. You know, I mean, we have leftovers of green beans, ham, meatloaf, macaroni and cheese, and I'm not talking about, you know, cheap cheese macaroni, not Kraft. I'm talking about, you know, the really good cheese stuff macaroni. And it wasn't, you know, a chore to do it. And I only say that because we take it all for granted. You know, there's so many Americans who just don't get the fact that the rest of the world, they suffer, you know. And I don't really know how to help them other than to contribute to charities or do things, or, you know, personally go and be there. And I'm available for that if I find something that looks, you know, kind of up my alley kind of way. I've done a lot of charity work in the past, and it usually, lately what I was seeing was that the people were not appreciating it. They were expecting it, not appreciating it. I went on a mission trip to Honduras with a medical group, and what I think I saw was that the people were really happy with us not being there. But they got so used to Americans coming in to save the day and bring all kind of supplies and medical stuff with them, and they would do, you know, dental work, you know, pull teeth usually. That was about all that was done, and leave them with, you know, stitches all in their mouth and give them some Advil and say bye. And these people are going to deal with this on the next day, so I think they were cursing us under their breath. But what I really saw was just a really happy group of people who had next to nothing in comparison to us. But they were happy. Isn't that kind of the point of it all, is to just be happy? So, you know, yeah, I'm not sure we did good in that one. Physically speaking, yeah, they may have been a little better off, but emotionally, they were fine without us sticking our nose in their business. So, anyway, I'm going to eat this meal, and I'll get back to you. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. What do you think? It's almost gone. If you've never taken the time to just be out like this by yourself, it's a really neat experience. If you have the skill set to feel like, well, I'm comfortable here, you know. There's no predators in the woods. The only things I worry about are people. You have a Happy New Year, okay? And I hope everything goes the way you want it to. There we go. Like it never even happened. Just wanted to give you an update on the little knife, and there went on the video that said, look what I got. Well, that's the knife that had the white lacing in it. And I said, we got to do something about that. Well, I did. I reworked it some. You know, this is it with a little small blade on it like that. Put a lanyard on it, but I converted the holster. It was made to go this way, and here's the loop for it. I just folded it backwards and then did some lacing on it so that it mounts this way, which I like 100% better. This is exactly what I wanted. That has done everything I needed it to do today. Did some lacing here. Now I missed a couple of laces in places here. I did this in about 10 minutes, so it needs to be redone. Actually, might add some leather in here. You can see where I just folded it over back here and just tied everything off. But I really like this type of mount better with the Bushmaster Survival Maraho high carbon steel 1095, and it's just perfect for what I need to do. And so I relaced it, and that works good for me. See, on my way out of the forest today, I come across this campsite, and it's not just one fire that never got fixed. There's two. And all their trash. Let's see how much more trash they left behind. They've been a tent spike. Said apparently they had to hack down the cedar tree for some reason. And then they left the fire with the bits and pieces. And some of their trash in there, like they're gonna burn that up, bottles, cans. 3 cans over there. Cups, litter, string, wrappers. That's what I'm talking about. Clean your mess up. Make it look like you've never been here. It's not your home. It's not your place to screw up. If everybody did this, the whole forest would just look ugly. This was just some randomized campsite in the middle of the woods, apparently. And there is some amount of public access here, but it's a little bit of a hike. So somebody intentionally came in here and just kind of hid out, I suppose, built them up 2 fires. I mean, they're 6 feet apart. 2 fires, really? Okay, whatever suits you. Maybe they were done at different times, I don't know. But they don't look like it. They look like 2 people or two separate fires at the same place. Go figure. People don't have any home training or woods training, as the case may be.